All right. Oh, yeah, we are live, and hey, somebody's out there now. Woohoo! That's saying we got nobody out there yet. Apparently, one person jumped in, so whoever you are, you're out there. Woods. It's Woods. It's out there. All right. Yeah, two more people. Hey, they're pouring in now. All right. What am I? I don't know. I'm tired. I say silly things when I'm tired. It happens. With us on the panel so far, we have Mr. Rob D, the New York Outcast. How you tonight?
Doing all right. Good evening, everybody. So, just made it out and back in one piece, no accidents, which is surprising because it seems like every time I leave the house, I'm dodging an accident these days. So, thanks for the invite, and glad I can make it.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure if people just gave up on standard driving rules, using blinkers and, you know, turning right when you're 2 lanes over in the right lane instead of cutting 2 lanes over to go left with the right blinker on. I mean, I don't know what's going on with society lately, but as I said, it seems like every time I leave the house, somebody's cutting me off, trying to pull into me, or pull a U-turn at the worst place. Like, people are acting stupid lately. I don't know what's going on with people.
Maybe they forgot their blinker fluid.
Hey, you never know. Yeah, or maybe they're drinking it. I got no clue. Yeah.
Drinking something anyway.
Yeah.
And those of you long time. Oh, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying it's pretty amazing lately. So.
Yeah. And those of you may have noticed, we don't have Mr. Jason Stewart on the panel right now. His mother had a stroke earlier, and he says she's in a bad way. So keep him and her in your prayers if you would. Jason takes care of his mom and stuff. So, yeah, keep them in your thoughts and prayers. So I just wanted to let everybody know why Jason's not going to be with us tonight, more than likely. I did send him a link, but I doubt he's going to show up. So, anyway.
Yeah, sorry to hear that about Jason's mom. Yeah, I can state last time I was in a situation like that, not me personally, but it was an all day, basically all night type thing at the hospital. So they like to run a lot of tests to keep an eye on people. Obviously overnight, and depending on the severity of it, could be other things involved. So I'm sure most of you know, but strokes can be very severe to minor. There's a couple different types of strokes, so you never really know. Also lost a coworker years ago to a stroke on a job, which still kind of bugs me. So it's things can happen pretty quickly. So wishes mom the best.
Absolutely. Didn't want to bring everybody down at the beginning of the show, but I thought it deserved to be mentioned and whatnot. Let's see who we got there in the chat so far. The aforementioned Woods, who was the first one. Well, Kingpin was out there first, but that was like 3.5 hours ago, so that don't count. And Woods again, like I said, and then we got Vulcan Rumble out there, Bernie Sanchez, Krabby Turtle. So evening, fellas, and keep your heads up, guys. You got to watch out for them acorns, man. Them squirrels are getting violent.
You seen that, huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness! I bet you that guy's got one heck of a lawsuit coming his way.
Oh man, that guy is gonna get paid.
Yeah, he probably needs therapy. I mean,
Yeah,
legitimately.
that
You
too.
know,
Dude's got PTSD now.
damn.
For those for those of you who don't know, Woods knows. Yeah. There's cops go to what was it, domestic disturbance? I think it was. Guy had texted a threatening comment or something to somebody. Cops roll up. They get the guy, put him in the car. The female officer is getting a statement from the complaining witness, right? The male officer, he's going back to the car. All of a sudden, that dumb asshole, here's a acorn hits the car, thinks somebody's shooting at him, starts yelling, shots fired, hits the ground, starts doing combat rolls, draws his Glock, and starts unloading on the cop car that the suspect is in handcuffed in the back seat.
Yeah, I don't think it was a Glock, but yeah, it was pretty crazy. And then acting as if he was shot as well.
Yeah,
There,
he
I
says, I'm
mean,
hit, I'm hit.
that's ridiculous. An acorn? I mean, my goodness, what if a car backfired or something? I mean, you know what I mean? An acorn, a firecracker. Oh my goodness. I mean,
Uh-huh.
that is just scary. I hope that guy don't work on the 4th of July.
And his partner's like, what the hell's going on? So she turns around, she looks at the car, asks him what's going on. He says, shoot her over by the car. So she pulls her gun and starts shooting at the car too.
So,
And the
so you don't
worst
even
part
have a
is,
target identified. I mean, they're
no.
just, you know,
And from
harassing fire.
her body cam, you can clearly see there ain't nobody by the car.
That's crazy, man. I think he might have implied in my vehicle or something, or she might have thought. I don't know. I seen a regular clip, and then I seen Bald and Harris's clip on it, and which I thought he did a good job with. But
Yeah.
that's just ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah.
in my
And
opinion, and then when you consider where the officer was unloading his what he unloaded 2 mags, 3 mags.
yeah, he had to
Never hit
reload.
the guy once. He's shooting through glass, and if you
Yeah.
notice the view at that point, it's a curved street. So where
Oh,
the
the
hell are
hump.
those rounds going? You
Yeah,
know?
right. And
Oh my goodness!
the guy, he was interviewed or made a comment on social media or something, said that he's in that back seat. He's just trying to get as small as he can and praying to God he does not get hit.
Yeah, yeah. It's probably lucky. Most police cars are reinforced a little bit, so he might have lucked out, and there was a plate behind the rear seat. So
Yeah.
usually the driver's seat has one. I don't know
Uh
about
huh.
the rear necessarily, but hopefully he lucked out because that's definitely not cool, man. Not
Well,
cool.
did you see when the backup rolled up? Got
No.
guys out there with the AR-15s, and dude's like, the
Oh
one that
my
caused the
god.
little thing is like, I'm hit, I'm hit. I think it got me in the fist. I'm hit. And the one cop's looking like, where are you hit, man? like, he's like, where are you hit? And that's where the video I saw cut off was the dude asking him, like, what the hell you mean you're hit? Where are you hit?
Now, where did that take place? Do you know
Somewhere in
offhand?
Florida.
Okay, I'm wondering. If it was like Chicago and somewhere the guy gets shot at once a week or something, maybe. But gosh,
Yeah.
it's kind of a far stretch. I mean, an acorn.
Yeah.
Uh, and these are the people they want to
Well, yeah.
to
Apparently the
regulate who
guy,
carries a gun and stuff and give you
yeah.
training. Yeah. Oh my
Apparently
God.
the guy thought that he was being shot at by somebody with a suppressed firearm.
Because he heard an acorn fall.
Yeah.
Did he witness glass break out? That was my first thing. Like, if the guy shot at you, there's probably a good, unless he was going to shoot through the door, which would kind of not really, doesn't make a whole lot. You're going to lose a lot of energy in the door panel, depending on caliber, all that. And if it was quiet like that, maybe a 22 in the back of the car, a little 25, but no busted glass, no nothing. You're just going to unload on it. That's reckless, man. I mean, I want to know who was in the houses up the street. Where did all those rounds end up? That's what
I
I want.
know.
Because let me tell you, if it was my house, I would be one pissed off son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm. Well, the closest he was, if he wasn't hitting the car, he's a horrible shot. He was at point blank range shooting at the car.
Yeah, blowing through the back window, but he was on the ground, so those rounds, if you look at the angle, might be hitting the second floor. Somebody might need a new roof down the street. I mean, with deflection, it's just not cool, man. It's just, I think if you or I did that, our asses would be in jail.
Oh, hell yeah.
Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Our asses would be in jail. We wouldn't get no 72 hours to speak to our attorney and representative first to get our story right. None of that shit. We'd be in jail.
Yep, absolutely. Nothing's even happening to the female officer. It was like, she was just. They said that she's just responding to what her partner told her, so there's no liability on her part.
So I don't agree to that either. Really, what if your partner's just batshit crazy? What if he's drunk? What if he's high? What if he's on some medication? I don't know.
The thing that could potentially excuse her was the fact that he said he was hit, and she couldn't directly see him at the time.
That yes, I'll give you that in a sense, but you need a target. You know what I mean? Especially
you need a target.
You don't
just unload on a car.
Yeah, this isn't a war zone. I mean, you're not clearing the bushes. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? If he thinks he's being shot at by somebody with a suppressed firearm, it obviously ain't coming from the squad car. Why the hell is he unloading on the squad car?
Well, usually you search a suspect before you put him in a vehicle.
Well, the guy was handcuffed with his hands behind his back in the back seat. I don't think he's the one that's going to be shooting.
You never know, though, because you can get out of the cuffs from behind your back fairly easily.
The guy didn't have a suppressed firearm.
Yeah, I mean, you could be Peter carrying it, but I highly doubt it. I mean,
yeah.
Wow.
You would think they would have checked him for that.
Yeah.
I don't know why he was shooting on the squad car.
Well, it was a Ford. I wouldn't mind popping a few shots at the average Ford, but I don't.
That was some real life Reno 911 shit right there. If you ever seen Reno 911 on Comedy Central, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Bernie says it was caffeine withdrawal. Huh?
So I'm not familiar with the show, but sounds familiar, but I don't recall it. But
what about Super Troopers? Have you seen Super Troopers?
Oh, hell yeah.
That's some Super Troopers shit right there.
Yeah, that's fun, man.
Yeah, that is absolutely batshit crazy.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that whole immunity stuff. I think it should be, I don't know, selective. I think, people should be responsible for their actions. Even as an officer, I think I could see it maybe in very rare situations, but something like this, I don't know, man. I think you're an individual with a job, a risky job. At any given time, you can make a bad decision, ruin your career, end up in jail, violate somebody's civil rights. So it's a very dicey job, and I don't think you should be covered for just being a dumbass. Personally, I think that's your immunity should go out the window unless it's a justifiable situation. Personally, so Now I know, things happen quick, things like this, but as I've said on record before, not that you should, you know, give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I mean, actually, you should as an officer, but at the same time, you do want to go home at night. But you know, many times I see, I don't know, I just don't agree when you're supposedly trained, body armor, back up with you, a vehicle to get behind when you have options for cover. I don't understand why they're just unloading on people in certain situations. I think there's other you know you when they escalate, you raise the bar a little. You know what I'm saying? But you don't just come in with a hammer for a damn thumbtack. You know what I mean? It's just I don't think that's justified.
Yeah. In this situation, especially, the dude didn't even know where he was supposedly, allegedly being shot at from. He just assumes for some reason it's the car shooting at him.
Right. Now let's say he killed that guy. Or in my opinion, even worse, cripples him, permanently injures him, affects the
Mm-hmm.
whole rest of his life besides the PSD the guy's probably got or whatever. I don't know. PSD is it's a whole debatable thing.
PTSD.
But anyway, be, besides that, the trauma of that, I mean, what the guy's got to, I don't know, breathing a freaking tube the rest of his life. I mean, is it supposed to be immunity on that? The quality of life because of a mistake? I don't think that's right, man.
Well, criminally, he would be immune, but fiscally, no. He could be that guy could take him to the cleaners in civil court. That guy will be in
Yeah.
debt to him the rest of his life.
And if you make a decision and you're wrong, you misread a situation and put rounds on somebody, you should expect to be accountable for that. You, me,
Mm-hmm.
anybody.
Yep. Yeah, that's just absolute insanity. That is one of the craziest things I think I have seen in a long time. Like I said, it's something you expect to see in a comedy movie. It's not something you expect to see on the freaking news because some cop lost his shit because he parked under an oak tree.
That's just, I mean, it could have been a million things: a backfire, fireworks, somebody playing a video game and in the house adjacent to him or something very loud. I've had that happen here. I was like, what the hell's going on? Could have been a number of things. I mean, kid with a drum set in a garage. I mean, and this guy's just going to open up. I mean, that's could have been totally unrelated, and it was actually a shot. But you know, he's shooting at the wrong guy. I don't want to. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm at a loss. Like I said, the guy wasn't even sure where his target that he would even be looking at was because he runs behind the car and then starts doing those stupid combat rules, which are just going to get you shot anyway. I don't know what the hell he was doing. He damn sure didn't. And then he baby crawls across the street after unloading on the car twice.
Plus his partner. Yeah, it's I mean, I guess the partner backing up, the female backing up her other part. I get, I don't know. I still don't like the idea of immunity, but I can see providing support, but at the same time, you're still got to make a judgment call, and you should have a target. I'm sorry. I don't think there's, they might have been there. It could have been nothing, and they could have shot somebody and killed them in the house next door, or the house down the street. You know what I mean? That's
yeah. You could see in
that's
the video there are
ridiculous.
houses because it was a cul-de-sac basically. You can see there were houses down the street from where the car was that had to have been getting peppered.
Yeah, I mean that's a problem. You know, especially when you weren't even taking fire. I mean, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Should be.
You'd think if somebody was shooting at him, they would have shot more than once.
Well, it's a shame. I mean, I don't know what the actual domestic call was. You know, maybe that'll scare the shit out of this guy to keep his hands off his wife or something. You know,
It was
please don't call the
he had
cops.
tweeted or a threat or
I don't know.
a private or a text message or something.
Uh,
They dropped all charges against that guy.
I'm sure they did. Yeah. Oh God. Wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing, man. Truly amazing.
Yeah, Bernie, he was shooting for the predator. It's exactly what like the scene in Predator where they all unload on the jungle. That's what this guy did. Yeah. Yeah,
Pretty
Krabby
crazy
says time.
stuff.
Yeah, Krabby says time for a new career. Yeah, he was forced to resign.
Really?
Yeah, they
Okay.
forced him to resign from the force, so that's something anyway.
Yeah, that's something. Unfortunately, often people that find themselves in trouble like that end up just going to another department, and believe it or not, they'll just hire them right up. I mean, whether it's sexual
Well, this
issues
is going to be
or
psychological.
physical assault.
They're probably going to write him up as a psych, which means he's probably not going to get hired somewhere else.
Hopefully not, you know,
Yeah.
but, you know, oftentimes it
I
happens.
know it happens.
Uh, pretty crappy deal, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially, you know, with some of this stuff, it's you should be done. There is no second chance at law enforcement, or so you should be done with some of this stuff. You know,
Yeah, this definitely. I mean, that guy should be written up as a psych, and he should never wear a badge again.
it's a crazy world we're living in. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it reminds me of the story with the lady that had a break in, called the police. Uh, she ended up meeting them in the front yard and approached the car and was talking about you know, what was going on. I believe it was a break-in, and there was a backfire. The driver's speaking to the lady, everything's cool. The car backfired, and next thing you know, the partner in the passenger seat pulls her gun and unloads on the lady, killed her right there. Like, that's, you know, that type of stuff. I think there shouldn't be immunity.
No. The defense dad asks, "Are we unloaded?" Yeah, this show's always unloaded because I can't drink. So, but, yeah, it's like there was. Did you see the one that was going around last week? I'm not sure where it was, but a guy. They were at a gas. It was at a gas station, restaurant kind of thing. You know what I mean? And some dude, this black dude, grabs something off the counter, and there just happens to be a cop and two cops in there, one female, one male, and they go to arrest him for it because they catch him do it, right? So they're chasing him, and there's another black dude in the store. He actually, if it wasn't for this guy, the woman would have caused the guy that they were chasing to get away. She did everything she could to get in her partner's way. It was Keystone Cops kind of shit. If it wasn't for the black dude that was just there in the store minding his own business, stepping in trying to help, the guy that was robbing the store would have got away.
Wow. Yeah, no, I didn't see that one, but yeah, that sucks.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you got the one dude that's just sitting there with his cell phone filming the whole thing. What else to do, right? Everybody with their cell phones. All of a sudden, everybody's a news reporter out there on the street, recording everything that happens. But yeah, I mean, some people just shouldn't be cops. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, yeah. It's like that all across, all types of professions. Some people just got no business doing the job they're in. So, and personally, I think, if you're one of them people that can't take a hit, you shouldn't be a cop. I mean, physically, if you can't, you know, get punched in the face without shooting somebody, you shouldn't be a cop, personally. Again, there's that whole escalation factor, and you come onto a scene with a kid with a gun. It doesn't mean you roll up like a bank robbery, sliding in sideways to a park and unload on the handicapped kid playing in the park with a toy gun. Uh, that was a real thing, which still pisses me off. You know, Again, you have body armor, you have training. It's a kid. Handguns aren't just easy for anybody to use. They take, a little bit of skill and stuff to hit anything at range. Not saying it couldn't be a threat, but at least evaluate, take a chance, reach an olive branch out there. Hey kid, put the gun down for me. Okay. I want to talk to you. Something. Not, you don't just unload on the kid.
Well, you
I just
remember
cop.
why they got those like little orange things on like airsoft and BB guns and stuff and toy guns? You know why they're not, toy guns aren't gun colored anymore, right? Remember back in the 80s, all the cops were going around killing, shooting kids that had the
Well,
freaking laser
unfortunately,
tag and shit?
some
Yeah.
cases they still are,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So, yeah, I mean,
But that,
now they have even pellet guns out that look real, from a distance. They look real,
yeah.
things like this. But yeah, but still, I mean, you got to, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Intertech,
that's the job you chose, man.
the
And if you're
Intertech
going,
squirt guns. Remember the
uh,
Intertech squirt guns? They got banned because cops were thinking kids had real guns.
uh, And some of this is parenting issues, I think too. Depending where you live, how things are, it might behoove you not to have your kid running around the neighborhood with a realistic looking gun if you care for your kid's safety. Backyard, that's one thing, but 2 blocks down the street, acting like he's trying to rob some old lady, the kid's probably gonna get shot. So whether it's a CCW holder or a cop these days, you never know. So little, you know, is it right? No, but that's some people are trigger happy, so
Mm,
be cautious about it. I'm all for toy guns with kids. Don't get me wrong, but I think people need to be smart too, depending where you live. So,
yeah.
and if your kid's a little dickhead, then maybe he shouldn't have a toy gun. You know, that's something to consider too.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. Be like the kid in that Christmas song, I ain't getting nothing for Christmas. That kid was a psycho. I don't know if you know the song, but the first line in the song goes that he wasn't getting anything for Christmas because he broke his bat on Tommy's head and somebody snitched on him. Yeah, I wonder why you're getting that for Christmas, kid. You just tried to commit murder.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, that's an actual Christmas song from back in the day. I'm not making it up.
Hmm.
That is an actual Christmas song. Broke my bat on Tommy's head. Somebody snitched on me. I should hope so. Somebody needs to put you in a goddamn mental institution.
Yeah, yeah. Parents got to have conversations with kids. Movies make things look like you can do stuff like that all day long to people, but honestly, people are actually pretty fragile. So,
Yeah,
baseball bat to the head usually leads to a cracked skull, and
yeah,
brain bleeds, death.
especially if he
Baseball
hit him
bat to the
hard.
ribs, punctured
Yeah,
lungs, busted ribs. It's not. You can't just beat on somebody and think it's gonna be okay.
keep in mind, it specifically states in the song that he hit Tommy in the head with it hard enough to break the bat.
I'm sure he was referring to one of those plastic wiffle bats.
I hope so, because this song came out in like the 50s. I don't know if they had plastic wiffle bats back then or not.
Yeah, yeah. No, people are fragile. So especially you got a big kid that don't take shit or whatever. Yeah, you got to be careful. So I went through it as a kid myself, and you know it's some bad stuff happened. Um, so yeah, you may not intend to do the damage that you do. You know what I mean? Even out of anger or whatever, and it can lead to problems. Especially nowadays, it can lead to problems.
Yeah. Oh man. Defense that says, "Man, people are sissies these days." He bets they can't even play Red Rover anymore. Oh, you don't want to play Red Rover with Fat Albert, that's for sure.
He's right about the sissy thing, though. A lot of people are. Well, same thing with the kids. I don't mean to keep going back to kids, but kids are the future. So if you're so safety
Oh,
oriented,
that
the
was Buck
kid
Buck.
never cuts grass, never does any physical labor because they could hurt themselves. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, obviously there's child labor laws, but these are values and stuff that you're supposed to learn as a younger individual. You know what I mean? In some cases. So it's kind of sad. I mean, that's how we end up with all these, supposedly grown ass men that can't change a damn tire.
Mm-hmm. And I was thinking Buck Buck, not Red Rover. But then again, if you're playing Red Rover and Fat Albert's playing, that guy's got so much inertia, it's probably going to be hard for him to stop. So you probably don't want to play Red Rover with that guy either. Can't say I ever got clothesline playing Red Rover, Defense Dad. You played that a little bit rougher than what we did. Got slid into playing rundown. If you ever played that, that's like when you're in a rundown between bases in baseball. And you're throwing the ball back and forth between two guys, and you're trying to tag people out, kind of like it tag, and like that. And the person who wins is the last one to not get tagged out.
Like monkey in the middle,
No, not monkey in the middle. It's
similar to something like that, or
well, okay, yeah, and baseball, right? Where you got somebody that's
not much.
stuck running, gets caught running between the bases by, like, say, the second baseman and the first baseman, and they're throwing the ball back and forth trying to get them in a position where they tag them out.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like that. Only you got a
Okay.
bunch of
So you made
people
a
running
game out
back
of
and
that.
forth between the bases at one time, and you're trying to tag them out. There's two people that are basically it, and they're trying to tag everybody out. And the last person
Yeah.
not to be tagged is the winner.
Yeah, no, I skipped the sports in school myself, so not skipped them, but
Well, that
wasn't
was a
interested.
game we
Still
played
not.
on. That was a playground game we played. We would set up like things are two bases, and we would just like throw a ball back and forth like that. The idea was to not get tagged. But yeah, we played monkey in the middle too. Obviously, I mean, who didn't play monkey in the middle? Then when you get older and you realize, hey, you know what? I could just tackle that person. And monkey in the middle wasn't so much fun anymore at that point.
We used to play like manhunt, stuff like that. Manhunt. Obviously, truth or dare. If there was chicks around,
Mm-hmm.
doctor preferably, but nobody's parents likes that game. uh, that type of stuff, but yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. BB gun wars, snowball fight.
Uh-huh.
We used to freeze snowballs. People would like put nails in them and shit. Like it was horrible. Like horrible. Everybody tried something new every year. Like we did all types of things like that. That nowadays
Mm-hmm.
probably be a no go.
Yep. Gary said they had games on the playground that you can't name anymore. Yeah, back in his day, they were still running around the maypole and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I had a joke, but I kind of screwed it up in my own head, so I forget it now. But Gary ain't that old. But yeah.
Yeah, we had wooden swords and then plastic swords and stuff.
That was coming back, like, I don't know, about 10 years ago. A bunch of kids that circles I'm in were all going down to this one store they got here in town that sells these foam stored things. And, like, I don't know what it is, if it's like some type of game or thing or something, but I guess there's some type of thing that was going around popular like that. I don't know if it's still a thing or what. There was a lot of kids running around with foam swords for a while.
We used to have a set of those big foam, so like almost like a pillow on a stick kind of swords. We used to beat the hell out of each other with those things.
I remember making Molotov cocktails as a kid. Like, obviously not approved by our parents. You know
No,
what
I
I
would assume not.
mean? I got a crazy uncle, so I might have picked up a few things as a kid. But
Mm,
uh, I can only imagine nowadays. Like, you'd probably be on like you know a registry for the rest of your life or something. You know what I mean? Because I think that's what a ATF or not ATF. Considered an incendiary device, I believe
yeah,
now.
that would fall
Yeah,
under the ATF's jurisdiction. That would be under the explosive
damn, I'm
category.
camping in state parks, lighting shit up back in the day. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they could pop you on that. The ATF could grab you on that.
well, I no, I didn't really. I'm just talking shit
Yeah.
because I'm
Oh,
online. This
yeah.
I didn't.
Well, I think the statute of limitations would have expired by now anyway.
Either way, it wasn't me. It was the other black kid.
The Woods that they're saying they made slam fire 20 gauges. Jeez. Yeah, we never did anything that crazy. We would get those cheap radio controlled cars, ones that were like $5, and put an M80 in it and set it down the street. And
Now, are you talking a real M80
yeah, this was back
or
in the
the
day when you get the real
knockoff
M80s.
shit they're selling now
Yeah,
as M80s?
no, no, this was the real deal, man. This was like
Okay.
mid '80s, man.
Yeah, those were decent. I used to get quarter sticks off this kid in the city out of a cereal box when I was
Mm,
there visiting family and stuff. Kid always had like the good stuff, man, and he always walked around and like he kept part of his stash in the bottom of a cereal box, and then he just
mm-hmm.
munched out the bag on the top. Those were so much fun, man. So much fun. Like I won't even tell you what I did with some of that stuff. Now that you bring up ATF, we got these auditors and statute of limitations. Not what I did, what other people did with that stuff.
Mm,
Again, this was some other black kid. But I imagine it was lots of fun.
yeah. Yeah. Boomsticks out there. He said, "You guys notice There's no more monkey bars or merry-go-rounds or teeter-totters in playgrounds. There's actually monkey bars in the playground down the street here. So, apparently, monkey bars are still allowed in West Virginia.
I think they should still be a thing. I mean, it takes, there's risks. Not every kid sniffs
Mhm.
glue and eats paste and stuff. I had a pretty bad incident on one of those cage things, like the octagon, like
Oh yeah,
cat. You know
that's
what
what
I'm
they
talking
have
about?
here. They got one of them, and there's some
Yeah.
teeter totters too.
Oh man, before school started in the morning, I get there a little early
Hmm.
outside, messing around,
Oh yeah.
frost on the bars, stood up on the bars, and let me tell you, I was almost a girl, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
they carried me in on a cot to the nurse's office, and I don't think I made it to class for like 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad, bad. Like
Yeah,
I thought I was done. Like
yeah.
bad.
Playground, playground near where I grew up in Pittsburgh. We had what looked like a wooden fort in the playground. It had like the swings and everything was all attached off this thing, like a old school wooden Western fort. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It had a curly slide on it. It was connected to the monkey bars, and the monkey bars would run over to like the thing you were talking about, the big hexagonal shaped thing. Man, that playground was fun as hell. We used to play cowboys and Indians in that at that playground. You know, the cowboys would have to defend the fort against the Indians.
One night, I actually stayed at the elementary school playground. Like hung out there all night long. So it's kind of a long story, but it was one of them things where everybody's staying at somebody else's house. Friend of mine, and we got a couple girls involved. And then because he had such a bad reputation in town, we're outside of somebody else's house bullshitting, and the cops rolled by. And because he was on the public sidewalk, they snatched his ass up and took him home. They didn't say a word to me or the girls because I didn't have that kind of rep. And the next thing you know, I got stuck with two girls at the park all night. I'm not complaining.
Wood says, for us stupid hurt nowadays, kids are bubble wrapped. Ain't that the truth? Yeah. Defense dad said they had a fort that was made from tractor tires. He said he'd take a nap in a tire during recess.
We had a tractor tire section. It was all right. Nothing
Um,
fancy. Yeah.
yeah, the fort that I was talking about had one of those tire walls that you had to climb the tires.
My school had a thing where, when I was going through, we're getting a new playground basically. And it was a big ordeal. They had like a jamboree thing, benefit dinners, all types of stuff going on. So you would be in class and hear music outside. All the parents were out there getting hammered on the playground, basically. Everybody volunteered. You can cut a board, put a screw in, all this type of stuff. All the kids got pulled out to do that as well. So it's kind of interesting. It was an eventful thing. Probably not like that nowadays. Not that I'm that old, but small town too, so probably differences. But I miss that playground. I had a lot of good memories there.
Yeah, I don't even know if the playground I was talking about is even there anymore. Probably not,
Yeah.
because it's probably deemed to be too unsafe.
Yeah, I think they got rid of all the wooden ones. Moved everything to that adjustable aluminum bars and yeah, soft ground, all that crap nowadays. So
Hmm.
kids will grow up to be sissies.
I know they got rid of the curly Q slide because somebody broke their arm on it when my younger brothers were in school.
Remember the old metal slides?
Oh yeah,
Like every once in a while, you'd find a park still had one. I mean, well, they might have been. I don't know our age difference, but there might have been normal at your time. But yeah, man, those things. Whew, they pretty much banned them, I think, around here. But holy crap, man! Like you could get moving on those metal slides.
Oh yeah.
You either get
Well,
moving or you get one hell of a road rash burn. You know what I mean? So one or
mhm.
the other.
Yeah, the big curly Q slide, that was a metal slide. Man, you get some. If it was raining, that thing was slicker than hell. That thing was like riding a water slide in the rain. Like you were moving down that thing.
Yeah, if you weren't prepared to catch your little kid, little 2, 3 year old, you were gonna have a bad day.
Mm-hmm. Defense that said a couple times the teacher had to go and look for him because he fell asleep in one of those tires and didn't wake up to get back to recess. Defense dad said they played soccer and tetherball at recess. Man, we were playing football. You know, wimp plays soccer at recess.
Yeah, I'd play, mess around with a couple of the girls usually, stuff like that, or sell stuff. So I sold expired condoms in school. Uh, hey man, I found a whole bag for free. Uh, what else? Anything, man. Candy, bracelets and shit. Like I don't know what I got stuck at somewhere. So I don't know what it was involved, but I got stuck at somebody's house. You know, it was a parent thing or whatever, and
Mm,
their kid was into like making bracelets and stuff, and it was really easy. So ended up making one those little bead things, and
yeah.
uh, ended up wearing it to school, and then everybody was trying to get me to, they wanted one just like mine, all this. So I ended up going down the
Mm-hmm.
store, doing the math as a kid, realizing what's my budget, what can I make from it. Bought barrel class, bought all this stuff because they're easier to do. That for me as a kid and whatnot, versus the little hook things, which are still a pain in the ass to this day for me. But anyway, yeah, went through basically like an entrepreneur, made a budget, realized what it was going to be, bought the stuff, made it, made my money back, flipped it, kept making money, flipping it, and then moved on to something else. Yeah. So, shit, I've been an entrepreneur since elementary school, man.
Yeah, defense dad said they played a lot of kickball too. Yeah, we played kickball. We weren't playing. If we weren't playing football, we were playing baseball. If we weren't playing baseball, we were playing kickball. And if it was raining and they wouldn't let us go outside, then we would do what Krabby said. We play four square inside the school. That was when we were going to the private Christian school at the church we went to.
You had a problem. I needed, like, basically, if you had a problem, whether this is your parents, whatever's going on, say you want to do something, but your parents weren't going to let you. I was the guy, the kid that people would come to solve that problem. And I'd give you a story to work with, and it would allow you to end up doing what you wanted in the end. So usually it had connections with some of your other friends and this and that, but these are like the old days, and parents would just give each other a call now and then. You didn't have trackers on everybody and all this stuff, and so yeah, it was pretty cool. Now you got me reminiscing now.
I don't even know how we got on this topic. We started out talking about watching out for acorns, and somehow we got talking about playgrounds and shit. Oh,
Well, we
Boomstick.
can look for try to drum up more investors for the toilet powered cars.
Boomstick is the reason why we had to get rid of sliding boards and shit. He's the dumbass that broke his arm on the sliding board. So he sat in the nurse's office with an ice pack gun on his arm until school was over and then walked home. No defense, Dad. Nothing is sacred. And it already looks like from reports I've seen that is going to be some woke ass bullshit too. So. Sorry, what were you going to say, Rob?
I don't recall. Now I'm wondering what you're speaking of with the.
You never saw Tank Girl?
Tank Girl?
Yeah, the movie Tank Girl.
No.
Okay.
I remember the movie Tank, which was a damn good movie, but it's old. I mean, most people nowadays probably wouldn't see it that way, but I thought it was an outstanding movie. You can even
the one where James Gardner built the Sherman and had to go break his son out of the jail.
Yep. Die hard, baby. I'm with it.
Yeah, I saw that movie a few times.
The chick was hot, right? Your wife, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That chick was hot, bro.
Yeah. I'm not arguing with you. Not arguing with you at all.
If I was single, she could ride in my tank.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, that's probably classified as a terroristic movie. Like if you watch that, you're on a list now or something. Like,
God damn, Defense Dad said they're remaking Roadhouse too.
Man, I get tired of these remakes. They're screwing it up. Well, they're screwing it up. And who are they going to get to play these people? What was that one guy? Wasn't his name Dolph or something? Can't think of his name.
Dolph Lundgren?
No, the guy he calls for help. You know, checks in with. That shows up on the bike. You know, come help him out. And I think it's Roadhouse. Yeah, that's Roadhouse. Or he's the bouncer. You know what I'm talking about?
Terry Funk, the one that was played by Terry Funk.
I don't know, but you're not going to get another actor to fill those shoes of that dude. Like,
no,
you can get somebody close. It's only going to work on people that didn't see the original. The way I see it, I just don't think you're. You know, I don't know.
They said Jake Gyllenhaal's the one playing Dalton in the remake of Roadhouse. Give me a break. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, we were just talking about that earlier today or last night, me and the lady. Like, I was trying to explain to her some of the, a lot of these movies come from books. So you can say that's a remake. And then there's a lot of movies that have, are all neighbors, they've all been done before. And now they're just redoing them, you know what I mean? For the times or whatever. So I don't know. I think it's very rare when you've seen the original that a remake's better or to the same caliber. It's just, kind of shits on the original, in my opinion.
Yeah, Foss says calling Tank Girl a classic is generous. Well, to be fair, he like he said, he did say it's a cult classic, which Tank Girl technically is a cult classic. It has a cult following. Kind of like Rocky Horror Picture Show has a cult following. Not necessarily the greatest movies ever made, but there is a fandom for them. So, Gary says, now Porky's, that's a classic. Yeah, Porky's is pretty good.
Porky's was decent. Yeah, I like that. They chain up all the police cars and all the axles, run the chain through, and that. There's a lot of good scenes there.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
Another
where
one,
it would be very sketchy to have a movie like that nowadays.
yeah,
Yeah.
another one would be Animal House.
Yep.
Again, Foss, nobody said that because it has a cult following that makes it good. I specifically said not the greatest movies ever, but they do have a following. The Moonies may be out there, but they have a following, and a handgun company.
What about the Goonies? To me,
Oh
that's a
yeah.
classic. Baby Ruth.
Nobody said Animal House was a cult classic, Gary. I just said that was a good movie. In the same kind of vein as Porky's. It's a good movie.
I'd like to see more movies, like not a modern Goonies. So let me, I don't want a remake, but I'd like to see
Oh, I'm
some old
sure
stuff
somebody's
like that.
already got Goonies on the list to be remade because they can't come up
Yeah,
with anything original anymore.
yeah. But that's yeah. I don't know. I like those movies, especially for kids. I mean, use your
Mm-hmm.
imagination. You think. I mean, nowadays they don't even want your kids going outside. I guess I don't know, but it's I don't know. I can't really think of what the words that describe what I'm feeling here. So, but I think they're good movies for kids. Or it's a good movie for kids. I think.
Yeah. You ever see 1941?
Don't recall that offhand.
Oh man, that's a good one. They got a bunch of people in that movie. It's a Steven Spielberg comedy set in a small town in California where they think the Japanese are coming to invade during World War II. It's funny as hell.
Is that the one with the bunker scene where the neighbors basically all turn on each other for nothing and destroy the door of the bunker of the one guy's house, and all in the end it turned out to be nothing, but everybody showed their true colors.
No, 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 no. This one dude ends up they put an anti-aircraft gun in his front yard and it ends up crashing through his house and stuff. It's freaking hilarious.
Okay, maybe I need to see that one.
It's got John Belushi's in it, Dan Aykroyd's in it, John Candy's in it. There's a bunch of people in that movie.
The old crew. That's got to
Yeah,
be fun. I'd find it funny then.
yeah. It came out in like 79, 80, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
Around the same time Animal House came out.
probably technically before me, but I still enjoyed the hell out of a lot of those that era movies.
Mhm.
Used to like the old police academies. I thought those are hilarious. A lot of them. Some of the scenes in that. I don't know. Now all the police shows on TV makes everybody look like heroes. Police, fire department, and all that stuff. I think it's a lot of brainwashing. You gotta love how they can always solve all these crimes with 30 minutes or within 30 minutes with commercials. And it blows my mind. Statistically, if you look at the numbers, I probably shouldn't even say it, could probably scare people, but certain crimes, unless it's personal, you're pretty much more likely to get away if you're not a dumbass. But they don't want you to know that.
Uh, Boomstick Actor says Porky's remake would have guys wearing man buns and skinny jeans sipping latte, and in defense that says no, a Porky's remake would have a bunch of trannies. He's probably right. Instead of trying to sneak into a strip joint, the kids would all be trying to sneak into some gay bar or some shit.
And your license to drive. That was a good old one.
Yep.
What was that other one where the babysitter died?
Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead.
Yeah, that one was pretty good too.
And they had Adventures in Babysitting was another one.
It's kind of funny though, because when you go back and look at some of these compared to modern movies, I mean, I've tried to get kids to watch, certain ones with me and stuff like this, and they just don't feel it the way I feel it, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's a little fuzzier, this or that. I mean, some of the jokes and stuff, they think they're jaw dropping. They've never seen on TV before, stuff like that. But I don't know if obviously their nostalgia stuff's going to be something different. But Moo had a good thing going with his daughter where they got a movie list thing. He's got a movie
Oh
list.
yeah.
They
He
sat
was
around.
asking us one night for movies
Yeah,
to put
yeah.
on the
Like I
list.
totally like that idea, man. Like this was part of my childhood, or whatever in a sense, and kind of where I'm coming from with things or some things. And then references are also nice with a lot of the old like that whole Baby Ruth. If I go around town saying that now, people are just gonna think I'm retarded or something. Well,
Oh, now people
can't
still
say
know
that.
that reference.
Yeah,
People
well,
still get that one.
people 30 or older might, you know what I mean? But other than that, I doubt it. So,
Oh no, I know kids that would get that reference.
well, I guess there's still hope in the world. How's it going, Gary?
All
Hey
right,
Gary.
I reckon.
Speaking of Baby Ruth, the scene from Caddyshack.
I'm lost on the scene. I've got a
The
few in
swimming
mind.
pool?
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it. That's for sure. Baby Ruth in the swimming pool.
Uh-huh.
Well, also Beverly Hills Cop 2, if you want to go that far.
Would you believe I tried to feed a guy shit that I formed into a brownie?
After some of the stuff you said earlier in the show, yeah.
Yeah, I did that as a kid.
I don't want to know how you formed it into a brownie, but
Yeah, I don't want to know
I
how.
used the
But
gloves under the sink, the big gloves. It was my mom's boyfriend. I didn't grow up with her, but I started visiting her, and I hated this son of a bitch. And it turned out it was for good reason too. And he was such a typical asshole. I don't want to get into too much, but man, I hated this dude. Like, and he probably would have beat my ass, beat my mom's ass, beat everybody's ass. You know what I mean? But I didn't give a shit. I hated him so bad that after eating something with almonds, like I noticed it kind of looked funny in the toilet. I was like, oh, I could do something with that. Found those gloves under the sink. Man, I came out, offered this dude a brownie. He almost took it. He didn't take it, but my mom didn't make no brownies. So it was pretty funny. Thankfully, I never heard nothing about that. But my mom, you should have seen the look on her face. I almost got us both killed. Damn.
yeah, that probably would have done it.
Yeah. So I don't eat free food. To this day, if I ever see this son of a bitch, I'm gonna go to jail. I don't care if he's 80 and in a walker. He's going down.
Okay. So where were we before Rob went down the disturbed rabbit hole there with the poo brownie? Now, defense that said Rob also tried to kill his family by making chicken fried steak.
Yeah, that
That's
wasn't
true.
intentional.
That's true.
Was not intentional.
Now they're right there in the chat talking about cop shows.
Shoot, when
Yeah,
I was
Adam
growing
Toro.
up, every other show was a cop show.
If it wasn't the cop show, it was a western.
What's that one with the Boyd dude? The guy Boyd. I don't know if it even runs anymore. Is that like Chicago something or whatever? But I thought it was always the lady watched those shows for a little while. I'd always bitch, but anyway, yeah, people are free to do what they want. But I thought it was funny how they always got like people like breaking the laws, breaking the rules, and it's okay on the cop show because the ends justify the means. You know what I mean? And it's like it's just not right, man. Like, and that was like that dude's character. But you wanted to like him because, he was doing good work, but the same time, like planting evidence, lying, setting people up for shit. I'm not really with that, But it seems like they're trying to justify that as long as the ends justify the means.
Yeah. Amy won't watch police procedural type shows like that if I'm in the room because I'm like, nope, that's wrong. Nope, that's wrong. Nope, that's wrong.
I just think a lot of the TV is just brainwashing. I know I've said it before, but I'm saying it again. The old people called it programs for a reason.
Fenstead said he hates to say it, but he tried to watch Fall Guy recently, and some shows should remain good memories, he says. Yeah, there are some shows or movies where you like them as a kid, and then you watch them when you're an adult, and it's like, what the hell did I see in this shit? I don't know if the Fall Guy would be one of them, but there are definitely others that would fit into that category.
Just watched Cannonball Run the other night. I still thought that was funny as hell. The lady's never seen it. We got a whole list of stuff she just hasn't seen. I don't understand. Maybe it's because she grew up with a mom. I grew up with a dad, but it seemed like a crime not to have at least seen Cannonball Run. Like there's certain movies you're just supposed to see.
Yeah.
Like
Cannonball Run is a classic. Good Lord, that should be on everybody's must-see list.
All right, just proof for folks. Sure, hold on a second. Part of my dinner tonight, salad. So
yeah, notice you said part of, not the whole thing. The other part was steak and potato and
lots of cheese.
Krabby says Jackie Chan is old. Yes, he is.
Dude, Jackie Chan was hilarious in Cannonball Run.
Mm-hmm. Was that the first or the second one that he was in?
First one.
Was it the first
hilarious one? Yeah, like that whole scene in the car where they're driving and his co-driver falls asleep and he throws in like a porno or something, almost runs off the road. Oh my God, I'm dying. Yeah, the whole Subaru was hated back then. You know what I mean? And here they are running around a little Subaru, sounds like a damn jet. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's hilarious. The night vision and shit. Like, man, I thought that was good. Thought he did well. That might be the first experience I had to Jackie Chan. I didn't even know that was Jackie Chan. Yeah, now I know, but
One of the first things he did was Enter the Dragon, the Bruce Lee movie. He was one
okay.
of the guards that Bruce Lee beats the shit out of.
I didn't know that. All right, I haven't rewatched that in quite a while, but I've seen all, like, I don't want to say all of them, but just about. And some of them where you can clearly see like the lips are saying something else, and but you're hearing something completely different than what the lips are doing and stuff. It's corny, but I don't know. Me and my uncle had a thing for those movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my stepfather and I would watch them. We would go to the theater back before the Stanley Theater in downtown Pittsburgh closed and became the Benham Center. They used to do like matinee Wednesday, and he'd come get me out of school early without telling my mother, and we'd go watch kung fu movies all day. We'll sit there and watch like 3 or 4 movies while I'm supposed to be in school. And they would mix them up. They'd have some like the Chinese movies, and then they'd throw in a Chuck Norris movie here and there.
Yeah. And now you can get those in like movie packs or something. It'll be like 5 movies on a disc or whatever for like $3 or something. Like yeah, not really highly desired, but if you haven't seen them, yeah, some of them are cool. Some of them not so much.
We got Moose out there and Thor's Axe as well. Just jumped in. 223 DMR. I don't remember if I said hey to him or not. So, hey, fellas. Somebody, I was just going back to the chat, brought up Barney Miller. That was a good show. My wife had never seen that until we got together, and she loves that show now. Like, how can you have never seen Barney Miller? She's like, I never heard of it. Like, oh my God.
Sorry, I'm eating as well as trying to participate, so sorry for some dead air here.
Boomstick says the show Highway Patrol. That's an old one. They used to show, I forget what channel it was when we had cable, showed that on reruns all the time. It was on like 5:30, 6 o'clock. If I couldn't sleep, I was sitting up watching TV, and that would be coming on.
What you guys thought on MASH or Hogan's Heroes? I know they're old as hell, but
the first half of MASH, as far as the seasons are concerned, were the best ones. The later ones got too damn political and just lost me on that. But the first few seasons of MASH were freaking hilarious.
yeah, I get a kick out of it. I'd rather watch that than a modern show halftime, like if I was to watch something. But yeah, not necessarily that, but some of the older ones, I don't know. Yeah, they don't have all the modern day political bullshit in it, or this or that, or it's just pure entertainment or whatever. And Hogan's Heroes, I think that's hilarious. Like some of that stuff. So, like, I know, it's like that Mighty Python. What do they call it? Slapstick comedy style in some cases, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm a guy. I don't know, but some of that shit is just hilarious.
Oh, another one was F Troop. You ever see F Troop?
I don't think I've seen that one.
It was a comedy western show about a bunch of cavalry guys at a fort, and they were a bunch of screw ups. We lost Gary.
Never been a fan of westerns.
Oh, F Troop was freaking hilarious. Got a bunch of Indians that act like Italian mobsters and shit. It's freaking hilarious. It was from around the same period as like Hogan's Heroes would have been. And of course, from that same period, you also had Get Smart. Get Smart was a satirical, whatever you want to call it, pun on spy movies. If you've never seen that.
Is that? I don't think so. It's not the one where like dude had a phone in his shoe or something.
Yes, that's the one.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
that's the one.
I must have seen it here or there.
Yeah. Thorzax brings up the original Star Trek series.
Oh God, you people in your Trek wars.
Boomstick says he still watches Hogan's Heroes. Yeah, I watch that from time to time still.
Not against space movies and stuff like that. Actually, I really like some of that stuff because I got different opinions. I think Space Force was a justification and for funding and this and that. I bet you they got shit going on, man. I'm betting you we're just earthers, and so they keep us quiet because it would screw up everything that's religion. It would screw up. We would screw with all types of shit. But I'm betting there's people out there on ships right now out in space. That's what I'd be willing to bet. And the sons of bitches should come pick me up. But Star Trek, that shit was old. I just can't get into that, man. Nothing, the newer shit, like, Rika's Warrior, some of the shit that's available now blows the doors off Star Trek, bro. Sorry, that's a book series, so it's different, but still, I think Star Trek is weak. You Trekkies, you got issues, man.
So ain't gonna make any comment on that. I ain't got the voice to be getting into an argument tonight.
I probably lost some subs. So if you haven't seen the new stuff, you really can't say, I've seen the old stuff, but if you haven't seen the new stuff, be honest, say, yeah, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. If you're interested, go check it out. Lots of free audiobooks on YouTube. Some of them will take you longer than a week. Could take you a month to finish, depending on how much time you work.
Yeah. I guess Gary ain't coming back. Maybe he fell asleep. I don't know.
He might have had to refill the ice box. Oh shit! Just kidding.
Boom 6 says Bruce Lee in Fist of Fury. That was the first boobies he ever saw on the big screen. Okay. So you saw Bruce Lee's boobies on the big screen? Is that something to be bragging about? I don't know. First movie, first boobies on the big screen. Probably Chuck Norris movie. Shit, An Eye for an Eye. That was one of those ones saw at the theater and one of those matinee things my stepfather and I went to. First one, it's the first movie that comes into my head, anyways. It would have been the first. How about you, Rob? What would have been the first movie you would have seen big screen boobies in?
I honestly don't know. Trying to think, but I really don't know. Um, hmm, that's a good question.
The Thorzak says, "What do you want, Rob? Hey, you have the right to like what you like, but most people like the original series. It wasn't CG, and it took your imagination to get into."
You talking about the Trek stuff?
Yeah, he's talking about the Trek stuff.
Okay. Hey man, I'm not hating on you for it. I'm just saying, there's nowadays like there's a lot better stuff. I mean, to even maybe they started or ran from Star Trek in a sense, but dude, you got to check out some of this modern stuff. Holy crap! I mean, it's like Star Trek times 10 or something. It's way more exciting, in my opinion. So like it's apples and oranges, even the terms, the technology, like that's half the reason I think some of this stuff is real, man, because people are breaking this stuff down. And I'm not a rocket scientist, but honestly, yeah, it's not even doesn't even have to do with rocket. You're talking FDL drives. Uh, that's well, anyway. It's just it's I don't know, man. It's good. That's all I can say. It has my recommendations.
Well, you do know that the warp drive in Star Trek was based on the theories that Einstein had.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot further. So I don't know. I mean, if you like that, it's only better. So check out some of the, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to shit on your old Trek War stuff, but give the new stuff a try. Not stating, I'm referencing books. So I'd look into that if possible, if
Well,
you
there's
will.
Star Trek books too that go into more detail than what the shows and stuff did.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, it's I don't know. Like I said, even Star Wars, whatever. These books are better nowadays.
The fence that said you're just mad because the phasers didn't have an M&P logo on them.
No, I'm mad because I got forced to watch that crap sometimes.
Oh,
Captain Kirk was in Mysterious Island.
he was in a lot of things back in the day.
Yeah, that's a good book. Obviously, he wasn't in the book, but there's a movie as well.
Mm-hmm. He was in an episode of Perry Mason at one time. He did a couple episodes of the Twilight Zone. Shit. The Fenstead has no sympathy for you, Rob, because he was forced to watch Lawrence Welk.
Not
Yeah,
sure
I
what
mean,
that is, but I feel your pain.
Lawrence Welk. It was a musical show of sorts.
Oh God, I hate musicals. You poor thing, man.
Not a musical as in a play that has singing. Musical as in like ballroom dancing kind of music. This was something people would watch back in the day. My grandmother used to watch that shit. Over our house, and she'd have Lawrence Welk on. If it wasn't Lawrence Welk, she had golf on. If it wasn't golf, it was tennis. Every so often, she actually put a baseball game on, which wasn't so bad.
Now,
Yeah,
did his mom make him get up and dance with her?
I don't know. The fence dad said it was polka. Yeah, he played some polka. He played some waltzes and stuff too. Yeah. And he had a bubble machine, and there'd be bubbles flying all over where the bandstand or his band was playing and stuff. It was really weird. It's like, I don't get it. But yeah, it was a thing. The set was like pink or something. It was really goofy. It was one of them things, 70s. So that should explain a lot of it. It was the 70s.
The Averin Chronicles. It's another good book out there for free on YouTube. So I'm just saying. So it's not Star Trek, but it's in that realm.
No, Thorzak, Star Wars did not use the same technology as Star Trek. Okay. Star Trek, you had the warp drive. Okay. Warp drive is not the same thing as the hyperdrive. They're both based on theories that Einstein had, but they were two competing theories that he had. The warp drive actually bent space, and you would draw a hole between the two where space was bent to get to where you were going. That's how the warp drive worked. You were literally warping space.
Yeah.
The hyperdrive opened up basically into another dimension, parallel dimension that ran alongside ours, where speed is faster. And that's how the hyperdrive worked. So while they were both based on Einstein's theories, they were not the same technology. Yeah. Physics class. When I was in 12th grade, our physics teacher, to get us interested in Einstein's theories, used Star Trek and Star Wars. So, yeah, that's how I knew that part. It's one of those instances where you have a cold teacher that like tries using something the kids would be interested in to teach the lesson, not just boringly reading it out of a textbook. Basically what teachers don't do anymore. Boomstick's bringing up that Laughing. Laughing was a good show. Used to watch that in reruns. That was a comedy show from the late 60s, early 70s. It was one of those variety comedy show things where they did skits and stuff. Freaking hilarious. And he also brings up the Ed Sullivan Show. Krabby had to go all weird and go Donnie and Marie. That was 70s. Defense Dash said the Barbara Mandrell show. The Barbara Mandrell and the Mandrell sisters. Her and her sisters did that show. My mother watched the Barbara Mandrell and the Mandrell sisters show. So I got forced to watch that one too.
What's your thoughts on the Twilight Zone?
Oh, I love Twilight Zone.
I thought that was pretty good too. A lot of that. I thought that one with the twins was, could teach you something about life or whatever. So pretty funny. I don't know if you recall, but guy ends up, meeting a girl or whatever. Come to find out she's got a twin. They're all hanging out outside a mansion of theirs. Everything's going good. Then the other girl wants to get in on this guy. Then the next thing you know, it's sounding like it, could be a really good time, right? Until they break out a chainsaw to split the dude in half to share him. I'm like, oh,
yeah. Twilight Zone was good for that kind of stuff.
yeah, that was pretty funny. Well, I don't know, traumatizing maybe a little.
There were always like little life lessons in Twilight Zone.
Yeah, the creator of that, was it Rod Sterling? I think his name is.
Yeah, Rod Sterling.
He's actually from this area that I'm at, basically. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people with twisted minds around here.
He came out with another show later on in the 70s. It was the same premise as Twilight Zone, but he didn't have the rights to it anymore. I can't remember the name of it. Night Gallery, I think it was. It was the same basic premise as the Twilight Zone. It was a bunch of little stories like that.
Crypt Keeper, I think, was one.
Well, that was Tales from the Crypt. That was based on an old, that was based on the old comic books from back in like the 50s before they had the comic code and everything, and they would have all kinds of like horror comics and stuff. That's what Tales from the Crypt was based on. And Krabby brings up Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Yeah, that was a good one. His movies are good too. I love Alfred Hitchcock movies. And if you like Twilight Zone, you need to check out some of the old Alfred Hitchcock movies. They fit right in.
I'm familiar with Hitchcock there, so wasn't a big fan because some of it was kind of slow. Didn't he do like The Birds?
Yeah.
Okay, and some of it was kind of slow, but I don't know, for me. But
the Birds was done on a dare. Basically, somebody told him that he couldn't. The other reason why his movies were so suspenseful and stuff was because of the music he used. So he took it as a dare and he made The Birds with absolutely no music. There's no music in that movie. Which for that time period was unheard of.
I don't recall that, but people are, you tell a guy not to do something, he's probably going to do it. You dare us to do something, depending on what it is, there's a good chance we're going to do it. Don't you dare
do something.
Dare me to clean my room or something. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Do it. I dare you. I dare.
Uh-oh, Rob, you're in trouble now.
Yeah, right. Shoot. You're the one who needs to clean the damn office. You'll get to it when?
One of these days.
One of these
One
days?
of these days.
Oh.
Whichever day I choose.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Maybe I'll get to some things whenever I choose. Thanks a lot, Rich.
What did I do?
I don't know, but I'm blaming it on you. Yes, I know it's mine. I'm next on dishes.
All right, just making sure you know. Because
Boomstick brings out the Outer Limits. Yeah, that was kind of Twilight Zone-y too. That was a competing show.
This shit. I bought her a dishwasher, and I still got a dish rotation. We all do our part around here.
Yeah, Boomstick Midnight Special and Don Kirshner's rock concert were before my time. I was like a real little kid when those were still on the air.
That sounds like Chinese to me.
They were music shows that were on late at night. That's where some of the first music videos originated.
You talking about MTV, VH1, BET?
No, they were on regular TV.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know nothing about it then.
Yeah, it was before your time. But if you look at and you see some of the music videos from songs that are from the 70s, so that they would have been on those shows. "223 DMR says Soul Train. That's another one from back in the day.
Talking Green Book days, or how far back you talking?
Soul Train, Soul Train started in the late 60s, ran through the 70s into the 80s, at least.
I used to dance to Soul Train. I loved that shit when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
So it must have ran for a long time, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And Boomstick also brings up American Bandstand. That one ran for a long time too. That's the show that made Dick Clark famous.
So what's not that we're doing a bracket or something, but what's the best old action movies? Yeah.
Oh man,
You got Die Hard. I mean, you got the whole
Die Hard ain't old.
You got all that type of shit. I mean, the first Die Hard, running through the airport and Glocks go through metal detectors supposedly, and is that the first one?
No, that's
But
the
you
second
should.
one was in the airport. The first one was the skyscraper. The second one was the airport.
Yeah, the skyscraper. He's climbing through the vents barefoot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Now I wouldn't say that's the best, but what do you think on those old movies? What's something you think's classic action?
All kinds of them, man. It's just I don't know.
So you know about what is it, the American Bandstand or some shit, but you don't know about action movies, guns.
Oh no, I know about action movies.
Hell,
I just don't know what one I would say is the best one. like, oh man, there's a lot to choose from, Rob.
All right, true. I'll give you that. And you're throwing on the spot. I was hoping, I'd figure something out while you were taking your time.
Yeah, you can throw just about any spy movie in that category. Any sci-fi movie would fall into that. I mean, good Lord, there's so many of them. Christ, if you ever seen the Romeo and Juliet from the late 60s, you could throw that in there. That's got some awesome sword fighting scenes in that movie.
What'd you think about the one with Leonardo DiCaprio?
It was all right. It wasn't that bad.
Thought it was interesting. I mean,
Yeah, it was interesting the way they kept the old dialogue, but it was set like in modern times.
it was definitely different. I like some of the guns. I mean, the 1911s. They had even the cars. Or it was different.
Mm-hmm. 223 DMR says Conan. I'm going to assume he means the barbarian and not the destroyer. And the destroyer was awful. Thorzak throws Dirty Harry out there. Was Dirty Harry an action movie? It's more of a cop movie. I don't know.
He wasn't a cop, though, I don't think.
Dirty Harry, yeah, he was. He was an inspector with the San Francisco PD.
Okay. Huh. I was thinking he was just like a regular type guy that was tired of the bullshit.
No. Dirty Harry, he was a cop who didn't put up with the bullshit.
Okay. This is, again, a conversation we were having the other night. I was thinking it was Charles Bronson.
Okay, that was Death Wish.
Okay. So maybe I had my movies confused the other night then. So, yeah.
Death Wish with Charles Bronson's the one where his daughter gets raped or something and he goes ballistic and starts killing all the hoods in the town.
I totally support it. Well, for the record, that's bad, but I wouldn't be mad at you.
Thorzak says the best part that Leonardo DiCaprio ever played was in the movie What's Eating Gilbert Grape. That's a good movie. What's Eating Gilbert Grape is a good movie.
I don't recall that one.
It's Johnny Depp and Leonardo DiCaprio. Johnny Depp is this dude trying to make it in a small town, having to take care of his mother and stuff, and Leonardo DiCaprio plays his retarded younger brother who's always getting into trouble, doing stuff he's not supposed to, but he doesn't understand any better, and he's always having to try and bail him out of trouble and stuff. It's a really good movie.
Sounds like a Hallmark movie.
It kind of has that vibe to it, but it's really good.
You love Hallmark movies.
Shut up. Nah, it's girl shit. Like Green Mile. There's a couple that are decent. I don't know, but a lot of them push the whole chick flick thing.
Anytime I watch.
She's drunk talking shit. Don't listen to her. And this is why I need my office clean, so I don't have to deal with this shit.
Now, 223 DMR says the best acting Leonardo DiCaprio did was when he was sinking to the bottom of the ocean in Titanic. I have never seen that movie. I never wanted to see that movie, and I haven't.
I've seen it. I thought it was good for what it was.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
Well, aren't you the one who said you don't like Hallmark movies, Rob?
I don't.
Watch that movie with me for the first time.
Rob's in trouble.
Damn snitches. Anyway, I thought it was all right. It was interesting. Yeah, I would have been one of them bottom class, what do you call it? People that never made it out, more than likely. Yeah, poor folk down at the bottom. They got locked in and shit. But I thought it was decent. Yeah, forget the whole love story part. I'm just the
Okay,
whole story
let's
part.
be honest, Rob. Let's be honest. You would have been a black dude on the Titanic. You would have been a fucking porter, man.
Yeah, I'd be shoveling coal. You're damn sure right. I'd been the first one to die.
Oh, defense dad throwing the gauntlet down. He says you keep confirming that you have shitty taste in movies.
Hey, I didn't say it was an outstanding movie. I just said it was all right. It was all right. You know, it's not on my classic list or nothing.
223 DMR says the best acting that Steven Seagal did was when he was sucked out of the airplane in the movie Executive Decision with Kurt Russell.
I don't know, man. I like that one he did where he's on the train. Can't remember what it is now, but like, I don't know. He used to put on a good show. And unfortunately, from what I hear, and everything I've seen, even recently, clips, I mean, it all looks like choreographed shit, personally. But,
Yeah.
But back in the day, at least on, but, that's movies. Anybody can be, your grandmother can be Rambo with a support team and 200 takes, so I don't know.
Yeah. 223 DMR says Under Siege. The second one was Under Siege on a train? It wasn't the first one. The first one was on a boat.
Under Siege sounds familiar, so I'm not sure, but I thought that was pretty good.
Defense Dad said Tequila Sunrise is an underrated movie. Is that the one with Mel Gibson? I'm trying to remember which one Tequila Sunrise is. Yeah, the first Under Siege movie, that was obviously Seagal, and he was battling Tommy Lee Jones and Gary Busey for control of the boat.
Yeah, I guess I miss in some cases some of the older stuff because of the fact that not in all of it, but there wasn't all like they say the CGI, all that type of shit now or whatever you want to call it. A lot of the stunts really could be done. You don't get me wrong, your car probably wouldn't survive it, but it could happen. Unlike some of these other movies where they're just flying them from skyscraper to skyscraper and landing perfectly and all this shit you see nowadays. But I just think is ridiculous. But even some of the old action movies, fighting movies, I mean, you can go back to Indiana Jones. You got the damn kung fu guy going all crazy, and what's he do? He's like, "Oh, the hell with that!" Pulls his gun and shoots his ass.
Yes,
That's realistic.
That was ad libbed, by the way.
That makes sense. At that point, fuck it. I ain't got time for this shit.
Harrison Ford ad libbed that. They had been filming that scene all day and they couldn't get it right. So towards the end of the day, they shoot the scene again. Harrison Ford just like, screw it, pulls his pistol and acts like he shoots the guy. And Steven Spielberg says, cut, break. That's it. That's the scene.
Yeah, I mean, some of this stuff really could have been done, where nowadays, I mean, you got to be the luckiest dude in the world. Like some of this John Wick shit, even if you are that good, like, you don't accidentally slip on a busted piece of glass with all this shootouts going on and get a movement wrong and somebody gets a drop on. Like, it's just amazing how, it is so perfect and smooth. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anything in life go down like that.
Well, we're coming up on 2 hours. And according to StreamYard, there's only 2 people still out there. So I don't know. I'm seeing more than 2 people just talking, so that can't be true. I think StreamYard's counter might be wrong. But we're going to start wrapping this up. So, you got anything you want to say before we get out of here, Rob?
No, thanks for the invite. It was good chatting with you fellows out there in the side, and as well as you, Rich. So other than that, again, hopefully things are going good for Jason's mom, or wishing him well there. Other than that, eat a salad and keep kicking ass.
Now, real quick, Boomstick brings up the Mad Max movies. They are bringing out, some point this year, a Mad Max movie that's going to be a prequel of sorts, and it's not going to have Mad Max in it. Here's the thing, right?
It's going to be Mad Dylan.
I have no idea. If anybody who's seen the Mad Max series, especially the first movie, it's just going to be a movie taking place in a modern day city. That's all it's going to be. They can take it and put any movie they want right now and call it a Mad Max prequel. And no, it's a stupid concept. I don't know, Defense Dad. Honestly, he said, "Yeah, son, you have a Mad Max movie without Mad Max." Yeah, right. It's just par for the course these days. But we were talking about Dirty Harry earlier. If you go over to my Instagram, which you can find the link down below in the description, I got pictures of guns from different Clint Eastwood movies. And one of the pictures is the Model 29 Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum that Clint Eastwood used in both Dirty Harry and Magnum Force when he was playing Inspector Harry Callahan. So that was kind of cool. It also has the both of the Colt Walker replicas that were used in Josie Wales. The 1849 Colt, 1848 Colt, I forget which, that was also used by Eastwood in Josie Wales. The Smith & Wesson Model 66 357 that he used in Tightrope, and the Garand from Gran Torino, and the double barrel shotgun from Unforgiven. So go check those out. It also has the badge and ID as well from Dirty Harry, now that I think about it. So go and check that out, like I said, on my Instagram page. I got the video that I put out last week with the custom AR-15 grips. If you haven't seen that, check that out. They're really cool. I got one of the grips and one of the foregrips that I'm going to be doing reviews on some point in the future. And some other stuff from the Great American Outdoor Show yet to come. And more pictures that are going to be coming up on Instagram from when we stopped at the U.S. Army Heritage and Education Center outside of Carlisle Barracks, and which is just outside of Carlisle, Pennsylvania, which is a part of the Army's War College, but it's a free museum and it's open to the public. If you're ever in that area, it's worth stopping and checking it out, especially if you go in like in warmer weather when you can walk the trail outside where they got all the tanks and stuff set up outside. It's really cool. They got like bunkers and trenches set up from like World War I, where you get an idea what the actual bunkers would have been designed like and what the German sides would have been like. And they have a field artillery station set up from Vietnam era with 2 field guns set up. It's really cool stuff they got set up. If you get a chance, and you like military vehicles and stuff like that, it's worth stopping and checking that place out. What else? Christ, I think that's about it. So, yeah. And Thorzak's throws out a little bit of trivia. He says the guy that played Garrick in Star Trek series Deep Space Nine was the actor that killed the crazy dude that was killing the girls in the first Dirty Harry. It's the crazy dude that was killing the girls in the first Dirty Harry. So there you go. And now I'm sounding like Rick because I said, well, there you go. Isn't that Rick's catchphrase when he does his show?
Yeah, you're going on like Rick. I mean, I'm about to ask what's the difference between your melted cheese on toast and grilled cheese, but I figured I'll let it go.
The cheese on toast is actually an open-faced grilled cheese. He likes to call it a Welsh rabbit.
I call it lazy grilled cheese. I don't know.
Yeah. He doesn't get when you put it in the broiler. It's like, yeah, Rick, and what is the broiler a substitute for? A grill. It's a grilled cheese. Anyway, we'll say goodnight for now, and we will hopefully catch you all next week. Have a good night, everybody.